We are
in downtown Chicago.
Yeah, stressor, driving good old Shrek in this traffic.
He's got a big bush.
He's like, that's a journey. What are we doing today, Sheila?
I am so excited.
Yes.
We are here at the auto show.
This has been on Sheila's, like, not bucket list, but top of her list that she's always wanted to come to the Chicago Auto Show. It's supposed to be one of the biggest. I'm here for the journey to see if we can find, like, every year there's like another million people hitting the road for RV life and lifestyle, and you're looking for rigs and types, and we're looking for tow behind. She wants to see the new Jeeps. So that's what we're doing, I guess. That's what we're gonna be enjoying today at the auto show to see if we can bring you some value. Yes,
trucks for you, tows for you, and fun little cars to drive for me.
Oh boy. So with that being said, roll the intro.
A man and a woman left their home to switch things up and go on the road. They didn't know where they would go, but it's gotta be better than staying home. They switched it up. They switched it up.
Okay, we made it inside.
We did.
You have any idea what to expect?
Well,
do you have a place you want to go first?
Well, there's a Jeep indoor track where you can see what the Jeep can do on the indoor track.
See what you guys have started.
I got bit by the Jeep bug and
oh man.
Let's go. I see it back there. Toyota that they made.
Look at that.
I love the paint color on that.
It's a concept vehicle.
Look at the detailing of the carbon fiber there. That is pretty cool.
I like this. So that's our truck, but it has the high output engine. Then we added the wrap to it. We added the tires. It is cool to see what they're doing with it though. They're doing the towing test, and then they're doing a torque test, and then the clearance test, which is actually pretty awesome to see. That's the torque test. How much torque it has to pull. Clearance test is actually pretty cool to see on the dually. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty impressive.
Okay, we have that, but I just saw there's a Jeep test track. Look over there. Look how they're going up that. We gotta get in line.
Okay. Today, we're going to do a challenge. The Jeep, which Sheila loves. And we're gonna go take a look at that. And then the new Ford Bronco to see what would be the best tow behind vehicle.
Jeep versus Bronco.
Jeep versus Bronco.
Dodge versus Ford. Those are fighting words.
They are fighting words to many people. But this is beautiful.
I love the gray one over there.
So we're gonna have to go out and look at the Ford, but I think the Bronco is starting to make a run at it. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if there's gonna be a change in the space. Let's go look at the Jeeps first.
Okay, yes.
Look at Jeeps
We're
first.
here.
We're here. She loves Jeeps. It is true. Sheila has got the Jeep bug. And this indoor Jeep track is pretty impressive to see as well. I was loving the dualies. Sheila's like, we've got to go get in line. So we got to go get in line. Get in line.
Oh, but look what's next to it.
Yeah, just get in line.
It's Alfa Romeo.
I know. That's the Rubicon series. So we learned about that at Moab. I'm not going to get away from this, am I? Am I going to get? I'm not, am I? Ever since we did Moab.
It was your fault. You using this.
They're showing the articulation. It is pretty impressive. Straight out of the box.
This is the 2021 Jeep Gladiator Mojave Edition. This Jeep has a 3-liter turbocharged diesel engine under the hood.
It's diesel, dog.
It is a diesel?
Yep. Got an 8-speed automatic, 12 inches of ground clearance, heavy-duty spring suspension. In terms of suspension articulation, these stats are
It's a much smoother ride than I anticipated.
and our sway bar is disconnected, so this allows us to have greater flexibility in the wheels and the suspension. This is a 35-degree incline. You only need about 2,000 RPMs to climb it.
Does the diesel make it easier?
Well, it has more torque. Yeah. Brakes are strong enough. We can stop on the decline. We have a pitch and roll monitor. Tells us the exact degrees we can sit in.
So this is the wheel path?
Yeah,
So you
that's
can
the
line
directional
that
lines.
up?
About, yeah, it's approximate.
Before you were with us today. We also have Cam Jeep over here to my right. We've got our Ram track outside, our ride-in track outside. So you can experience a lot of our vehicles while you're with us today.
This was a bad
Thank you all so much. It's so good to see your smiling faces.
Love that.
Nice to speak with all
It's
of you.
very
Have a wonderful rest of your day here.
Yeah, she's right. This was a very bad idea. It's amazing how the diesel is coming in full circle because of more torque. So, and now after having a diesel, okay. No, we are not buying one today.
I know that.
It won't fit in the toy hauler. You have to move the motorcycle out.
Oh, don't give me any ideas.
You gotta have goals. So it's like
Kia is committed to coming out with this vehicle and 6 more all-electric vehicles from now until 2026. So we have made a huge commitment to the EV offerings here at Kia.
Fun fact, Sheila had a Lexus RCF for a while. It's one of the fastest cars we've owned. So she's still drawn to Lexus, moth to a flame. We love the BMW, we had that for a while too, but the LC 500, you like the LC 500, don't you?
I don't know. I want
The
to.
color? You don't like the color.
No. I think. Well, I mean, I like it. Just.
You couldn't do this as a tow behind.
No, I don't.
This would be like-
This is a follow behind.
This is a follow fast. This would be follow in front. Because
Yeah,
you would
it'd
not
be
be
called the
behind me.
pace car.
It'd be the pace car. Smokey and the Bandit comes back to the light. This is the question, Sheila. We were just talking about it. Will there ever be a time when you think you'll have a tow or something that you'll be able to charge off of your rig that you're driving?
I'm sure it's in the making, if it hasn't already been done.
I mean, you could do a tow, but it's like if you could charge it, if they're going to go electric. Well, electric vehicles make it to the RV world as tow vehicles. That's the thing.
I could even see a toy hauler. You pull a small car like that into a toy hauler that would have a plug-in in the back of your.
Speaking of that, remember we did a video with New Horizon owner, brand new owner, and he had all those lithium-ion batteries in the front, and he said he charged his Tesla off of his batteries.
So you could put a car, I think it's coming, where you put a car in your toy hauler, charge it while it's in the back.
What most people don't realize, you only have an 8-foot width in your garage, so you're taking up a lot of space. So they'd have to be, that's even too big to go in like a toy hauler.
No, not the bigger, there's toy haulers with a 15-foot garage.
Yeah, but then you lose all that living space.
But it's possible, it still will fit.
That's true.
It still would fit.
But we're gonna see. I think there's gonna be a lot of changes in the RV world.
Do you think that there's ever a truck that could be electric? That would have enough torque to pull
we see there's supposed to be a the new Ford F-150 that's electric, but I don't know if we'd ever see like a 1-ton, something like that could be electric.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
and
know
then
if
you could actually charge the truck off of the rig. That would be cool.
I don't know if you could get enough power to pull something that's, 20,000 pounds.
Well, you could get the power, you could get the torque, but your distance, like right now on our truck, we're getting around 450 miles per tank on mileage, but I think with an electric, you'd only get probably half that.
Unless you can figure out how to charge while you're going down the road with solar.
Yeah, there you go. Then when you plug in, it would be the opposite. You plug in to your truck for your lighting, and your rig would be charging your truck as you go down the road because you have solar on top of your rig. Woohoo! Look at that. We're on to something. Groundbreaking stuff, and switch it up. If you've seen the new Ford Bronco, we fall in love with it. Sheila just saw it. And you can never find them anywhere, so there's one here. I'd love to buy one and trick one out. I think that would be a lot of fun. The real question is for Sheila is, would this become the new tow vehicle? Would this displace the Jeep as a tow vehicle? Do you see a lot of RVers changing it up? Because you gotta admit, this is pretty dang sexy. We're getting ready to see what it's capable of, but that's the question.
My mind is processing.
She's been processing. We have not been in it yet, but this is pretty sexy.
Bronco versus Jeep.
It's the first challenge that Jeeps
Always
have.
seems to be a Dodge versus Ford conversation.
Oh, yes it is. But pulling those doors off, doing the metal, the mirrors, they're not attached to the door, so the mirrors stay. Sorry, they're coming down. So the mirrors stay when you pull the doors off. Then both of those areas come completely off, and then you have the module on top. I don't know, dear. I don't know. This might be an enjoyable thing. You might change your mind. I don't see it happening, but you might. It's a challenge. Okay, that's impressive. So in a sand environment, they locks up the back wheel and you can do a complete 360 as it turns around. That's actually really amazing. I don't think the Jeep can do that.
Tell me the benefits.
Think of the environment that you're in. If you're in this severe environment, say you're going to want to go off-road, it's kind of crazy to think that you could lock it up and you have a turning radius. Because remember, like when we were in Moab and the turning radius wasn't big? Think about locking up one wheel and doing a 360 to be able to turn on a dime. That is crazy. I didn't even know that was a capability of that.
I don't think the Jeep can do that.
I don't think I've ever seen any vehicle do that. Good. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Compare the Bronco to the Rubicon. Sorry, Rubicon.
Okay.
Yep.
You guys have one?
Nope, we're just looking between the two.
All right. Well, I could show you some of the features this baby is loaded with and give you an idea what trouble you can get into.
First off, let's talk how big that display is.
It's a 12-inch screen. It does not come standard, but
Right.
most people that I've talked to that have theirs on order
Yeah.
upgraded to the 12-inch screen, and I think you'll see why by the end of it. So the first feature I want to show you guys is called the Trail Turn Assist. So what this is going to do is think of being on a trail. Maybe you need to reposition yourself around a rock, maybe it's a tight space and you need to back up completely. What do you have to do, like a 10-point turn to turn
Right.
around? It's a little tight space. So what we're going to do is eliminate all that. Turn on the Trail Turn Assist. We're going to crank the wheel, say we need to go this direction. What it's going to do is, as soon as I hit the gas, it's going to initiate which tire it needs to lock up. It knows that I need to go this direction, so it's going to lock up this tire.
Okay.
Did you guys scan your code on that?
No.
If you do that, it'll just capture a video for you at the end. You do it between now and by the time we get to the mountain, you'll be fine. So I'm going to start, and what I'm doing is I'm just hitting the gas, and what it's doing is locking up that back tire while we are pivoting on it, while the other three are spinning. So the other three are doing the work while this one's just staying in
This
place.
is
And it is
insane.
letting us basically do a donut in a really tight space. It's a pretty incredible feature. And as a Jeep owner myself, who has three different Jeeps, I've owned them for years.
They don't. I don't
they
know
don't
of another
have
vehicle.
They
that has this.
don't have that feature. Yeah.
Is there
Pretty
another vehicle
incredible.
that has the trail assist like that?
You know, the only other Trail Turn Assist that they call something else is the old, is it Land Rovers? Land
Oh, yeah,
Cruisers?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
One, I've had some friends of mine say that they have a feature similar to that.
Huh.
So as we come into the water fording, they are the best in class. I think they're rated at 3.6 inches of water without anything going inside. As you can see, there's absolutely no carpet in this thing, and that's for a reason.
Right.
You got this thing wet, you're gonna have mold smelling forever. They also come with the drain plugs in them, so you can drain out any water. If you have the doors off, maybe you had the top off and it rained that day. Another feature that people like, well, they love the fact that they can get heated seats in it or things like that, right? But if you know you're going to use it for some off-roading purposes, what a lot of people are doing is getting the marine grade seats so that they can fully rinse out this thing. It'll eliminate all of the electronics for your seats, but it allows you to fully submerge it and it not be a problem with any of your electronics. What I'll do is turn on another camera mode for you guys so you can see what the fisheye view looks like. And what I love about the screen is you being able to see at what angle you're tilted at. I'm getting this thing about 21, 22 degrees today, and that's a pretty awesome feature to be able to see what you're doing. Come off this hill, no problem. We're gonna hit some speed on these bumps so you can feel the suspension.
Wow.
Not bad.
Not bad.
The walker's already on. Let's put this mode back on the tire mode, and why this is going to help the most is because this little twist stitch basically is going to simulate a little bit of rock crawling with some articulation of our tires and suspension.
I was curious how you guys were watching your lines.
Yeah, it would be a lot harder if we didn't have this camera to be able to do that. So what I'm going to do is get that back tire off the ground. It's going to feel pretty odd. We're floating right here.
Yeah.
Right.
So that back tire is probably about 2 feet off the ground. And to help ourselves get a little more traction, what we're going to do is release the stay bar. you're gonna feel what that feels like. So what it does is kind of drop it down, and what that basically does is the suspension is locked up to the body. So by releasing it, it drops it down and creates more traction, more articulation with the suspension. So now you're gonna have more stability up top. The suspension's gonna be able to do what it needs to do, and we can just keep on going. With at least the older Jeeps, I know the newer ones aren't quite that way, but everything's a turn of a button. My old TJ, I have to get out and literally hammer on it with a hammer to get it loose, and it takes about 15 minutes. And you have to do it at the beginning of a trail, not in the middle of an obstacle, and just push a button back and forth, and bam, you just used it,
So
turned it
when
off.
you turned it off, it re-engaged.
Yep, it re-engaged itself, so now it's reconnected. Because at high speeds, you would never want that
Right,
disconnected, because
absolutely.
then you'd be driving like that.
Roller coaster.
All right, so what we are gonna do here, and I wanna show you guys, I'm gonna return back on the lockers. You ended up scanning that, right? Okay, I'm gonna turn that camera button on. But what I wanna show you guys is, think of cruise control at high speeds. You know, when you use cruise control and you wanna have your foot on the pedal the whole time. Think of trail control at low speed. So what I'm gonna do is set the speed to 3 miles per hour. I'm gonna take my foot off the gas. I'm gonna let this baby crawl up the mountain for me.
Oh my goodness.
It's a pretty awesome feature, but what I love most where it shines is on the downhill, because it really helps to control it for you. So see why you're going up this steep of a hill, you can't even see where your tires are going. It's a very scary feeling, so having that camera is really, really helpful. I'm gonna slow it down to 1 mile per hour, give you guys a second up here, and as we come down, I'm gonna stop us. So right here, I've got my foot on the brake.
Right.
This is still engaged. What it did was it dropped back down to 1 mile per hour. I still have the flexibility to control it here on the steering wheel or with my foot. Now what typically happens when you release your foot off the brake?
We're just gonna droop.
Yeah, as fast as possible. It scares the heck out of you, right? And it's not good for the suspension to do that. So having this control now, I can let go, and it's gonna keep that maintained because it has that adaptive brake for me. And if I feel like it's going a little too slow, I'm just gonna speed it up. I can just tap it with my foot, and then totally good to go. That's one of my very favorite
that's some
features to
great
have. It's a
features.
really, really nice feature.
Well, there were some features in that Bronco that the Jeep has not got.
That was absolutely surprising.
Yes.
Like really, really surprising. So you can't, here's a fun fact, you can't get that until 2023.
Well, you can, if you
could
ordered
order
it
it.
now, it
Yeah, but
would
there's
not
a-
come till 2023.
126,000 on back order, which is mind-blowing. Absolutely, I have a feeling we're gonna see that as a tow vehicle coming up for a lot of people
I
in
think
the
we'll
next few
start
years.
seeing those in Moab as well.
Yes.
Right? You don't see them.
I would
out there
love
now.
to do a tour in Moab in that.
Yeah. Just
'Cause
to
that
see
would be
what
crazy.
is that feature of the slow and like
The slow assist going up
yeah
and the slow assist going down,
Yeah.
and you can set it and it went up. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
All right, what else?
Well, let's go see what else is down here.
Okay. Think about that. I don't care about the test drive. Look at this. What if we took one of these old deals? Who has made one of these into an RV? They made this into a beer cart. But can you imagine towing one of these as an RV, like a fifth wheel? Where do I find one of these? That's awesome. We'll come up with all kinds of ideas today. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. It's Chicago. Everything's loud in Chicago.
It is kind of loud.
Okay. We are wrapped up, walking back to the truck. We have not purchased anything.
Nope, we did not.
We did get these. I should say these little chamois things for RV life. I'm looking forward to trying those. The Zorbs. Sheila, what are your thoughts? You were really excited about coming.
There's a lot of things to process. So I'm processing. There's some perks to the Bronco over the Jeep, but there's definitely some perks to the Jeep over the Bronco.
What did you think of consensus of the show? Did it meet the expectation you had up here?
No.
Why? Because it was missing some things.
It was missing a couple of brands that I was hoping to take a look at.
Land Rover, Mercedes. Sheila
Jags.
she still wants her Go Fast car.
I just like to look at what the new concepts are, what the new designs are.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with looking.
No, you're right.
You're gonna get hit by a Range Rover. Oh no, good.
He's gonna turn.
Speaking of Land Rover. So, no, it was, now they're getting ready to have some outdoor entertainment, and so the test tracks were fun.
The test tracks were actually really fun. It really gives you an idea of what the Bronco can do, even though it's not going to come out for a while. And of course, we already did Moab in the Jeep, so we knew what that was capable of.
Yeah, but it was just different to be able to see the different types of trim packages, so that I enjoyed. I would definitely come back again.
I bet you would. It was a good afternoon. Now, as far as like looking for nuances of the new trucks for towing and the new pull behind type vehicles, a lot of them are going to go electric. So that whole idea of, are people going to go to electrics as their tows or toads, or are they going to go with still small cars? I don't know.
I think if a rig can figure out how to be able to power a toad, if it's an electric toad, that would be
the way to do it.
Yeah.
Now, I was looking at the new Ford, and it was saying at 120 volts, it charges for every 1 hour. It's charged for 3 miles. So it'd take forever. If you had 240 volts, for every 1 hour, it charges for 20 miles. So that would be pulling a ton of juice to be able to do that. So I don't even know if it's there yet. That's the thing. So, and then as far as looking for dually, single, like if there's anything new happening, I didn't see anything new on any of the trucks.
Nope, I didn't either.
Until then, Shrek is king. Shrek is king.
Hey, don't forget to tell him.
What do we got to tell him? What do we got to tell him?
Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, do all the things.
Yes, until our next video. Hopefully you got some value out of this. Until then, we are... Ooh, Shrek's beautiful. Out.